Round 2. Brace yourself for more hail as severe weather heads right for us. Greg has your weather alert.
It is uncomfortable to see that.
Shocking video going viral. 2 minutes of pat-downs on a 12-year-old boy.
Rethinking the way you eat.
It's not just a diet, it is a lifestyle.
Leafy greens, nuts, and whole grains. Why the Mediterranean diet could work for you.
50 Shades of Viennese Walls.
And things getting steamy on Dancing with the Stars. Who performed best and the first contestant to be sent home. News 8 Daybreak starts now.
Live from Victory Park, this is News 8 Now.
And good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for News 8 Daybreak on this Tuesday morning. I'm Ron Corning. Bruno gets all wound up. He's out on the desk.
Oh my gosh.
Jumping over the front of it.
I'm Sonia Zadin for Alexa, and Ron is like doing twirls over here.
Yes, I'm a dancer in my
You
spare
get all
time.
wound up.
We do a little tap dance around here every once in a while. Yes, thank you for joining us on this Tuesday morning. Get this is becoming a trend.
A bad one.
And a bad one. This is caught on surveillance video. This is someone's pet being stolen, taken right from the front porch. And it's generally the kind of thing that those who have these designer breed dogs are victims of, but not always necessarily the case.
But do you resell them? I mean, aren't there ways to track these pets?
That's part of what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you have your pet chipped so that you can track it and find out where it is. So there are steps you have to take, but very early on, because you saw that was a puppy right there.
It's not just packages anymore.
No, it's too bad, isn't it? All right, let's get over to Greg here first off to find out what we need to be aware of weather-wise, because these spring storms are continuing, Greg.
Yeah, these spring storms are continuing today. Quiet out there this morning, likely going to stay that way through much of the day. We'll have a few isolated showers early on, but then late this afternoon, we do expect those thunderstorms to fire up across North Texas once again. So as we look at those three things you need to know, the late day thunderstorms, especially north and west of Dallas and Fort Worth. So we'll detail that a little bit more for you coming up. And then widespread rain expected overnight tonight. That severe weather threat will be with us as well, with the initial round of storms late this afternoon and then through the overnight hours too. So we'll talk all about that for you. Could have some hail, damaging wind threat during the morning hours for tomorrow. So as you plan your day, though, starting out temperatures right around 60, cloudy skies and mild, very low wind rain chances later this morning, maybe a few isolated showers around lunchtime, and then the showers and thunderstorms become a little more scattered, mainly out toward north and west late this afternoon. That high tops out right around 80, but then as we head late into the evening, overnight tonight, more rain moves in, so we'll talk more about it coming up in a few minutes. Now let's get over to Lauren, checking on traffic.
It's been a pretty busy morning for us traffic-wise. Still have an accident working in Tarrant County in the Lake Worth area. North Loop 820 westbound at Quebec Street currently taking away 2 right lanes, but good news, not causing any major delays. If things do start to back up, you can take 183 as an alternate route. Still have slowdowns heading into Dallas from the Garland and Rockwall area due to construction at westbound 30 at Rose Hill Road. That's causing about 20-minute delays now, so your alternate routes there include Highway 66, or you can take Highway 80 to avoid that. Also still working in Allen if you're heading up towards the McKinney area. More construction has all the lanes closed at northbound McDermott Drive. You can use Texas Highway 5 or Alma Drive to avoid that. That is causing 40-minute delays. Ron and Sonia.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. Well, it certainly will likely take a while for people to recover from that first round of hail. We hope the second round is not nearly as bad.
So if your home gets damaged, it might be easier than you think to become the victim of a scam. Daybreak's Hannah Davis is joining us live now to make sure that you don't get ripped off. Hi, Hannah.
Good morning, Sonia. That's exactly right. We want to educate people this morning, and I'm reporting from one of those hardest hit areas. This is where thousands of homes and roofs were damaged, some of them totaled in this area. And if that wasn't enough, like you were saying, they can become the victims of scammers and scam contractors. So here's the big question. What do you do to make sure that you do not become scammed? Here are some tips that we have for you. First, we want you to look up the contractor with the BBB and check out their rating. See what have other people said about that company and their work. Also, make sure the crew has insurance too, backing up their work in case anything goes wrong. And also, find out where crews are based. Generally, you want somebody local with a good reputation. We know there are a lot of good crews out there, because if there is an issue with the work, they can come back and fix it. Now, this crime trend isn't going away. People see it every year, leaving people out of thousands of dollars. And if you're not careful, industry experts say crews will come in from out of state, collect deposits, then take off with your money.
They get these checks. Their contractor seems very like an upstanding citizen of the community. They come in, they talk to them, they sell them the deal, and they said, hey, we need to get a down payment. They hand over that check to their contractor. Next thing you know, that contractor don't answer their phone anymore. They do that a half a dozen times. That's a lot of money, and they disappear out of town.
You know, talking to these experts, this is something that we see year and year again. And lawmakers are actually saying that they want to do something to try to prevent this. They're actually putting together a bill that would regulate the roofing industry and basically create a voluntary list that you could check out to find a reputable contractor or roofer. So that's one other thing that you can do to help you out. Sonia, Ron, back to you.
All right, Hannah Davis live for us in Highland Village, one of those hardest hit areas from the storms this week. And it is now 6:05. We want to get you up to date on other top stories here this morning, and this one is just heartbreaking. A man was killed early this morning in Plano as he was trying to help someone who had hit a barrier and crashed on the Dallas North Tollway. That Good Samaritan was hit by a car while crossing the road near the Sam Rayburn exit. 3 people involved in the other 2 accidents have been taken to the hospital. Today, President Trump is set to sign an executive order that unravels Obama-era plans to curb global warming. The order would suspend more than a half dozen measures that attempt to reduce carbon emissions. In the past, Trump has called climate change a hoax perpetuated by the Chinese. Fort Worth-based American Airlines is buying a big stake in the largest airline in China. It is investing $200 million in China Southern Airlines. Here's what that could mean for you: access to more destinations in China, and you can use your miles on those flights. We'll be watching the stock market closely to see what Americans' shares will do this morning as that news spreads. Well, she faces up to life in prison for illegal butt injections. Today, deliberations will pick back up in the trial for Denise Wee Wee Ross in Dallas. Ross is charged with murder. Prosecutors say she injected a woman with industrial-grade silicone, and that led to her death. If you have a friendly dog, this might be a scary reality for you. Take a look here. A thief coming up to this home in Atlanta and taking a Yorkie right from the front porch, and it doesn't put up a fight. The dog's name is Spider, and he is still missing. The owners hope this video will help you take steps to make sure that you have your dog microchipped so it's easily tracked, and also they hope that as this video spreads, they'll be able to find their beloved pet. Well, so you're saying there's a chance, there's still a long shot that the Mavs can make the NBA playoffs. A very long shot, but a shot nonetheless. They'll need even more help after the Oklahoma City Thunder stole one last night. Take a look.
Russell pulls up at the nail and scores!
That is Russell Westbrook with the winning shot, finishing off that comeback by the Thunder. That's right, the Mavs blew a 13-point lead in the final 3.5 minutes of the game. That's pretty remarkable, isn't it? And the loss makes it official. This is the Mavs' first losing season under owner Mark Cuban. 15 winning seasons, and now the streak is broken. We're here to help you stay up to date. You can download the WFAA app to go beyond the headlines and get alerts on big stories.
All right, right now, Australia is getting pounded by a tropical cyclone. Daybreak's Marcus Moore is watching the storm make landfall. He's got an update for us. Marcus?
Hey, good morning, Sonia. This storm already causing damage along Australia's Queensland's coast. This is one of the pictures I've seen here, tweeted out by Jonathan Harris, showing some of that damage at a hotel there. And we've been watching rolling coverage coming from 7 News in Australia. They have crews spread out across the region covering the storm and its effects. Now, Cyclone Debbie made landfall as a Category 4, and that would be the equivalent of a Category 3 hurricane here in the U.S. So that's wind gusts up to 160 miles per hour. 50,000 people are without power right now. News organizations there have been reporting extensive damage. This is some of the video coming into our newsroom there. Look at those winds whipping around there. Homes and buildings have been damaged. Here's a little bit more of what we have seen on social media. This from 7 News. I really want you to look at this. Look at the wind picking up that material there and blowing it across the grass there. Certainly giving you an idea of how strong those winds are. And one more video for you. Watch this boat as the waves pick it up and push it along the coastline there. Just a real mess. Another piece of video to show you. This is really impressive. You'll have to take a look at this. This is Cyclone Debbie from space, from the International Space Station there, capturing what is just an awesome sight there of that hurricane. no doubt a massive storm system that is battering Australia's coast. And this morning, I've only heard of one person suffering critical injuries because a wall fell on him. Greg, just a terrible situation for folks as they deal with this. But we have our own weather that we are anticipating, perhaps some more severe weather.
Yeah, it looks like that will be the case for us here. It is hurricane season down under for us, and for us it is spring storm season, and that's what we're going to be dealing with. Another round of thunderstorms expected to develop and move into the area a little later today. Now, as we go through the early part of today, not much in the way of rain at all. We'll have some very isolated showers moving up from the south as that warm front lifts north, maybe a few around lunchtime. But then notice by late this afternoon, heading into the evening hours. This is around 7 p.m. in our far northwestern counties from near Graham up toward Wichita Falls. Strong and possibly severe thunderstorms develop. Those move off into Oklahoma. That's going to be round one. Then we'll have the next wave of thunderstorms rolling in. This will be after midnight east of Abilene around midnight tonight, and those will roll east right into Fort Worth and Dallas around 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, weakening some, but we'll still have that damaging wind threat. Locally heavy rain and hail will be a possibility with those storms as well as they move off to the east as we go through the early morning hours here for tomorrow. Then that moves out, but still some redevelopment maybe in our eastern counties during the afternoon. So we'll talk a little more in detail about it coming up, but now let's get over to Lauren. Check it on track.
Hey, if you're about to head out the door, nothing new is working throughout the Metroplex. We still have our same trouble spots, as in this accident working in Tarrant County in the Lake Worth area. North Loop 820 westbound at Quebec Street still blocks the 2 right lanes, and traffic is slow throughout the area, but it's not causing any major delays. If things start to back up, you can use 183 as an alternate route. Still have our construction working heading into Dallas from the Garland and Rockwall area. Westbound I-30 construction at Rose Hill Road. That takes away the right lane as well, and that's causing about a 10 to 15-minute delay, so you can use Highway 66 or Highway 80 if you want to try and avoid that. And good news, construction finally clearing in the Allen area heading up towards McKinney. Northbound 75 at McDermott Drive, as I said, that is starting to clear, but it's still causing about a 40-minute delay, so use Texas Highway 5 or Alma Drive to avoid that one. Ron and Sonia.
All right, Lauren, thank you.
Okay, so you've probably seen this video by now. It's a TSA agent patting down a young boy for several minutes. Coming up, how the agency is responding to this video, and we're going to want to hear what you think about it as well.
Also, no more fighting over who gets to charge their phone in the car. Our money man, Matt Granite, has a solution that won't cost you much at all.
And the first celebrity this season was sent home from Dancing with the Stars. We're going to hear from the booted contestant first, right here on Daybreak.
We'll be back right after this. Good morning, Oakleaf, Cottonwood, Fate, and all of North Texas. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Use that hashtag #IamUp, and we will be back here in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone. 6:14, and it is only week 2 on Dancing with the Stars, and they're already bringing it to the ballroom in a big way.
So NFL star Rashad Jennings, with his sexy Viennese waltz, shares the top of the leaderboard with Fifth Harmony singer Normani Corday and her hot cha-cha. And Corday just stepped off from a flight from Japan, by the way. They each scored 32 out of 40.
Now, let this be a spoiler alert for you. If you haven't watched it yet, perhaps you DVR'd it. But last night, we also saw the first elimination of the season. You ready? Turn the volume down, turn away. It seems obvious who was going to go home. A lot of you called it. Former SNL star Chris Kattan featured purposely goofy dancing, playing off his comedic background. Sometimes that goes a long way, the entertainment value, to keep folks who can't necessarily dance in the game, but it did not serve him well.
That's my fun, happy place with Whitney. I mean, that is fantastic. You can't take that away. That was tremendous. And that's part of the experience I had on the show.
He's like, whatever. Kattan was dancing after years of healing a broken neck, though. He says he wishes he'd revealed that a little earlier. Maybe voters would have been a little gentler, maybe nice to him. But he did say that, hey, he did his best.
Well, you know what? I appreciate him for not exploiting that for the sympathy vote. I think that was good of him, although now he regrets it. So next week, yes, they're taking it off to Vegas. They heard the Oakland Raiders are moving to Vegas, and they said, we'll take our show there as well.
They need to get there.
That's where everyone's going, apparently. All right, let's check in with Greg now at 6:16 to get an extended look at this forecast, which once again includes this spring weather, which could bring some hail.
Yeah, it looks like it will have, so that severe weather threat will be with us, especially later today, going through the overnight tonight. This time tomorrow morning, we will see some thunderstorms rolling through North Texas. We'll have the upper low that's settling into the desert southwest here, the Four Corners region this morning. That will be driving that dry line on into the western portions of North Texas later this afternoon and evening. And we will see the thunderstorms firing up late today, initially north and west of Fort Worth and Dallas. That's going to be round one with the thunderstorms. Those will move northeast, probably on up into Oklahoma, missing most of Fort Worth and Dallas as we head late into this afternoon during the early evening. But then we'll have the next round developing as we head later into tonight after midnight. More widespread thunderstorms. They will work their way right through Fort Worth and Dallas as we head into the overnight hours. Maybe a few isolated showers early today, but then that's that first round of thunderstorms we just showed you. 9 p.m. tonight out toward Wichita Falls, maybe just north and west of Graham. And then as we head into the evening overnight hours, look what happens as we see the widespread rain and thunderstorms, maybe weakening some as they move into the metro area tomorrow morning. This is going to be around 4 a.m. tomorrow, but still that damaging wind and hail threat will be with us. Those move off to the east, but we could see some redevelopment during the day in our far eastern counties. Those storms could likely be severe as well in our eastern counties as we head later into the day on Wednesday. And then things will start to settle down. Maybe a few leftover showers and storms along the Red River as we head into Thursday. But there's that severe weather outlook. You see that enhanced risk in the orange shaded area, Mineral Wells, Bowie, Gainesville, out toward Wichita Falls. And then that severe weather threat slides east. But still, that's a marginal to slight risk over portions of North Texas as we go into Wednesday as well. Fair Park right now 62 degrees, so a mild start. 58 in Denton, 63 in Weatherford. Those highs today. Rosser, you'll be around 77. Kaufman close to 80 degrees, and those upper 70s heading out to Farmersville and Westminster later today. So here's that forecast over the next 7 days. The widespread rain and thunderstorms late tonight through early tomorrow, and then hopefully some sunshine, maybe a leftover shower on Thursday, but that does return. The sun does on Friday, but then more storms back in the forecast over the weekend, Saturday night going into Sunday. All right, let's check traffic once again. Here's Lauren.
Okay, no new incidents you need to worry about, but we still have the same trouble spots working throughout DFW. In Tarrant County in the Lake Worth area, still have this accident at North Loop 820 headed westbound at Quebec Street. It still blocks the 2 right lanes, and traffic is slow moving through the area, so you can take 183 as an alternate option. Construction heading into Dallas from the Garland area is still slowing things down on westbound I-30 at Rose Hill Road. Still causing about a 10-minute delay, so you can use Highway 66 or Highway 80 to get around that. And good news, our construction is starting to clear at northbound 75 in the Allen area, headed up towards McKinney. This is still causing about a 40 to 45-minute delay, so you want to avoid that using Highway 5 or Alma Drive. Ron and Sonia.
All right, thank you very much, Lauren. Well, if you've got the AirPods, Apple's new version of iOS has a means to help you find them. We knew they'd go missing, right? It just became available and has more than 20 new features, among them Find My AirPods. Can they help me find my Apple remote too? It helps you locate your missing wireless earbuds using the Find My iPhone app. And you can put your cup holder to better use than just holding your morning coffee. It can be a charging station as well. Matt Granite will show us that coming up next.
But first, an 18-year-old student in Maryland is accused of plotting to attack her high school. Now, police say the girl's own father stopped this attack from happening. Here's a little bit more from ABC's Pierre Thomas.
In this morning's GMA First Look,
it was clear in her diary that she planned to die during this event.
The plot, police say, possibly inspired by the Columbine massacre. Potential school shooting involving these weapons. A shotgun, explosives, piped for a pipe bomb.
It was very clear to us she had the means, the materials to cause significant damage to herself, to the student body, to the facility up there at Catoctin High School.
All allegedly planned by an 18-year-old honor roll student, Nicole Silvario, who apparently detailed it in a chilling diary. But Maryland police say her parents discovered the diary and her father contacted authorities.
You're a parent. Can you put yourself in their shoes of having to make a decision like that about their own daughter?
They most likely saved their daughter's life as well as other lives.
And we'll have the latest on the investigation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Pierre Thomas, ABC News.
Welcome back, everyone. A live look at downtown Dallas from our Fair Park camera on this Tuesday morning, 6:25 and 63 degrees. And a $15 gadget could put an end to family fights in the car. Our deal guy, Matt Granite, joins us now live with the ultimate vehicle hack. Good morning to you, Matt.
A great morning when I'm on Daybreak. I'm so excited to be back with all of you. And for all of those great North Dallas drivers and beyond, my new car has 6 cup holders and 1 stinking USB port for all of us with all of our tech needs. And if you have kids, this could be the ultimate solution. Take a look. It's a car hack that I just finished testing. I don't think it's worth its $70 price, but I did find it for $14.99 with a coupon code today. Why I like this, it converts any cup holder into a 4-port charge system. In all of my tests, it handled 2 iPad Pros, 2 Androids, whatever it is you're charging. This gets it done safely. And I'm telling you, design-wise, while it is not worth its full price at a $14 price point, I've just loaded this deal up to our website where you can watch my full in-depth unboxing and demo. It also has an LED system, so you always know the charger. A lot of the chargers on the market will overcharge your devices. This one surpassed it. And tomorrow, we're talking self-defense with one of the other craziest 8-in-1 gadgets I've ever seen. What do you guys think of this?
I think that's pretty clever. I mean, and you're right. By the time you start getting, in your what used to be the lighter, right? You put in like a splitter there, and you get cords coming out. It starts to look really messy. And you wonder why they don't put more USB ports in a large car like that. Thank you, Matt. We appreciate it as always. And don't forget, you can always find Matt's deals at WFAA.com/Daybreak.
Okay, well, it is tough at the White House. President Trump's approval rating hits another low after that health care defeat. We're going to talk about that coming up.
Also, it's time for a good breakfast for lots of Texas school kids. It is STAR testing day. Improvements have been promised after what was a not-so-smooth year last year.
Yeah, so we've got all that and more coming up next. You're watching News 8 Daybreak at 6:27.
Live from Victory Park, this is News 8 Now.
Welcome back, everyone. So many of you are fired up this morning about this video on our Facebook page. It's going viral, showing a young boy undergoing an extensive TSA pat-down at DFW Airport, 2 minutes long. Is it legal? Is it within the parameters of TSA? And is it necessary, moreover? We'll talk about that and ask you to weigh in as well.
And good morning. Thanks for waking up with us here on News 8 Daybreak. I'm Sonia Azad, in for Alexa today.
And I'm Ron Corning. Thank you for joining us here this morning. We have a lot to get to, including this. We're talking about ballroom dancing for kids, their own take on that famous Dirty Dancing song. I guess Dirty Dancing, the song, the dancing, Greg, crossing over generations, right?
It lives on.
It sure does. Indeed. It is timeless, and you'll want to see these kids.
They are amazing.
Yeah, they sure are.
Yeah.
All on the heels of Dancing with the Stars and doing better than Chris Kattan, we can say that much. All right, Greg, what's happening in the forecast?
All right, things not looking too bad out there right now. Not likely going to stay that way, though. Could see a few showers before lunchtime, but the 3 things you need to know. Another round of thunderstorms heading toward North Texas. That threat for severe weather will be with us as well. So cloudy and mild early on. The late-day thunderstorms initially north and west of Dallas and Fort Worth, but then around midnight and thereafter, widespread rain and storms move in with that severe weather threat continuing. Large hail damaging winds into the early morning hours tomorrow. So we'll talk more about this for you coming up here in just a few minutes as the kids get ready for today. STAR testing for a lot of North Texas today. Temperatures in the lower 60s. Spotty showers around lunchtime, and then those late day thunderstorms mainly west of DFW after school today with that high right around 80. More coming up, but now let's get over to Lauren checking on traffic.
Hey, if you're about to head out the door, here are the trouble spots you need to worry about. In Tarrant County in the Lake Worth area, have an accident still working westbound North Loop 820 at Quebec Street. That blocks one right lane, not causing any delays in the area, but 183 works as an alternate route if you need to take that. Heading into Dallas from Garland, westbound I-30 still have construction working at Rose Hill Road. That's causing about a 20-minute delay with the backup to President George Bush Turnpike, so you can use Highway 66 or Highway 80 to get around that one. And construction is finally cleared all the way out northbound 75 in Allen at McDermott Drive. Still causing about an hour delay, though, so take Highway 5 or Alma Drive. Ron and Sonia.
All right, Lauren, thank you. 6:32 now, and Greg is among the parents who can attest to this. It is a stressful day for parents and students, of course students specifically. They've been preparing all year for the STAR test.
Yeah, we should add teachers too. Today is test day, of course. Daybreak's Monica Hernandez joins us live from our newsroom. Monica, there is a whole lot riding on this STAR test for kids.
That's right, Sonia. Students can't even graduate high school without passing the STAR test. It can determine if you move on to the next grade. And if that's not stressful enough, this is the first time we'll see if new upgrades work after a big STAR test disaster last spring. That's when thousands of of students weren't scored correctly, their answers were erased, or they got the wrong version of the test. The Texas Education Agency says $20 million in upgrades are in place now to make sure that doesn't happen this year, but a lot of you think Texas would be better off without the STAR test. A Texas Tegna poll last fall shows 65% of you think Texas should just get rid of it. And some of you are hoping state lawmakers pass a bill this session that would let school districts decide if they want to keep the STAR test or use a different kind of standardized test. That bill hasn't yet come up for a vote. Well, of course, it's important to fuel your brain and your stomach before the test. We know a lot of parents will be taking advantage of that free breakfast at McDonald's for 3rd through 8th graders this morning. Ron and Alexa.
All right.
Excuse me, Ron and Sonia.
Well, you can say good morning to Alexa. She's at home watching now at 6:33, getting her own kids ready for school.
That's
All right.
right.
Little staycation for her. All right, Monica, thank you. And it is 6:33. We want to get you up to date as you start your day. 2 Florida undercover officers ambushed. Dramatic video showing fellow officers rushing them to the hospital in the back of a pickup. This was late last night. They were able to limp inside. Police believe the shooters were teenagers. More murder charges, I should say, in what Dallas police are calling an elaborate crime spree to lure Johns so they could be robbed. 2 suspects, Dermon Simmons and Emmanuel Kilpatrick, have been charged with killing Cristobal Zabeda. They were already in jail in connection with the double murder of a father and his son. 2 others are in jail also in connection with those deaths. Texas lawmakers are trying to change how some abortions are paid for. This Senate bill will ban some insurance coverage. It would affect plans offered through the Affordable Care Act. 25 other states already do something similar. Democrats are calling on the Republican congressman leading the investigation into Russian meddling to step aside. That involves investigating communication with President Trump's transition team. They say Congressman Devin Nunes is too close to Trump to be impartial. Meantime, the president's approval rating has dropped to a new low. This new Gallup poll shows only 36% of Americans approve of the job he's doing so far. This poll was taken just after Republicans failed to pass a new health care bill. These polls go up and down, and many presidents have had lower numbers. The AAC is getting ready for the women's Final Four. They will install the court this morning. Friday's games are set. First at Stanford in South Carolina, then Connecticut and Mississippi State. We, of course, are here to help you stay up to date even as you head out the door to start your day. Just download the WFAA app to go beyond the headlines and get alerts on big stories. And
oh, speaking of the WFAA app, now it's the perfect time to open it up, I guess. Click on that Vote Now tile, and we're showing you this video that you've probably seen, maybe on social media, a TSA pat-down that's going viral. We want to know, okay, so should the TSA change its pat-down procedure for kids? So Marcus Moore joins us now with a closer look at that video while your votes come in. Marcus?
Well, Sonia and Ron, this video really has touched a nerve with parents and people here in North Texas. One mother posted an angry post on Facebook, and it included this video of her son. She's raising concerns after her 12-year-old son was flagged for a pat-down over the weekend. This happened at DFW Airport, and this is the video that's been making the rounds. It's been viewed now millions of times. Jennifer Williamson saying that the agency went too far in patting down her son, and she included this video with her post, and people have been responding to it. She is saying that there has to be another way. In fact, during this pat-down that has made international news headlines, she said she insisted that the TSA officer use another option to screen her son, who, again, his laptop is what was flagged. TSA says his team followed proper protocol here and that pat-down only lasted about 2 minutes, but that is very little solace for Williamson, who has been really trying to get the word out about this and is really upset. I asked people on my Facebook page what they thought about this. Emily Robertson says, I certainly understand why this mom is livid. It looks like molestation. And Candace, she says, how many times does he need to check around his pants? I would be livid too. She calls it ridiculous. So Ron and Sonia, that is what people this morning have been saying on my Facebook page. On our station page, there are some who are defending the TSA, saying that the agent in question here followed procedure, and it's also important to point out, according to TSA, that the agent's supervisor was there, as well as 2 police officers and the teenager's mom.
We've also come to expect, as TSA regulations go, that they're only supposed to use the back of their hands, not the palm of their hands. It should be noted that TSA changed that practice. They rolled it out slowly and quietly, but they are allowed now to use the palms of their hands when they do that pat down. So he did follow procedure there. And also, hypothetically, if we're going to play both sides of this here, and you brought this up the last time around, terrorists might use any method, including using children as decoys to send them through TSA.
People have said terrorists will stop at nothing to carry out an attack for their political purposes, and so that is what the TSA.
Well, that's good to
is trying
defend his
avoid.
actions, but I do still believe there are situations where the video says more, and I'm not sure this was justified.
Well, and as some of us have been talking about, maybe he was showboating. You know, I mean, he's got 2 officers watching him. He's got his boss watching him, or whoever else. You know,
thinking he's got to go the extra mile.
Right.
And what we don't know is what is the new procedure that's supposed to be universal throughout all of the airports across the country.
Marcus,
what exactly
you
is the new
travel.
effort?
You travel all over the world. I travel all over the country. Airports small and large. It's not consistent.
No.
The way they are in small airports is different at big airports. Actually, they're more lax at the big airports because they're seeing more people through.
Yeah.
At the small airports, they think they're running the FBI. So they literally, everything is an interrogation. I'm not even kidding. We saw the poll there. I'm sorry, what were the results, Mateo? 54 say yes, 46% say no.
All right.
And the question was this justified? All right, there you go. There's the vote. Let's check in with Greg now at 6:39 and find out what we're facing here with the weather coming our way. More springtime weather.
Yeah, more springtime weather. Speaking of traveling, taking you on out to DFW right now. Shouldn't have any issues with any early morning flights, but that's going to change as we head into the evening, overnight hours tonight. 63 degrees out at DFW right now. But as we look at that timeline, with the rainfall expected across North Texas, maybe a few spotty showers early on around lunchtime. Could see some very light rain, but look at those rain chances really start to ramp up this evening. Heading toward midnight, widespread rain and thunderstorms moving through North Texas. Now, initially, we'll see those thunderstorms firing up late this afternoon, north and west of Dallas and Fort Worth, but a widespread squall line likely going to move through late tonight during the early morning hours tomorrow. And then that will be with us through about lunchtime. The showers and thunderstorm chances do start to taper off, however, as we head into the evening hours. Now, we will have that threat for some severe weather as well, so we'll talk more in detail about that for you coming up here in just a few minutes. But now let's get over to Lauren, checking on traffic.
Okay, the only new incident we had working was an accident in Dallas at Dolphin Road on eastbound I-30, but luckily that has just been cleared out within the past 2 minutes or so. So westbound, you can see traffic is moving just fine, and we're a little slow headed eastbound, but as I said, that has been cleared out, so really no major issues to worry about there. Still have our construction working on westbound I-30 if you're heading into Dallas from the Garland area. Construction still at Rose Hill Road, causing about a 20-minute delay with a backup to President George Bush Turnpike, so continue using Highway 66 or Highway 80 as your alternate routes into Dallas. And our construction in the Allen area on northbound 75 at McDermott Drive has officially cleared out, but still seeing about a 20 to 30-minute delay there. So continue using Texas Highway 5 or Alma Drive as your alternate routes. Ron and Sonia?
All right, Lauren, thank you. So you may have heard about the Mediterranean diet,
I have heard something
right?
about that.
It's pretty popular, and so we're going to talk about what exactly it is and can it really reverse your risk for diabetes. So I'm going to fill you in coming up next in your health check.
And I think so tasty too. Also, another NFL team is picking up stakes and moving on. Dale Hansen has a few things to say about Oakland's plan to move to Vegas.
Good morning, Lowry Crossing, Pelican Bay, Nevada, and all of North Texas. You can follow us on social media and use that hashtag #IamUp. You're watching News 8 Daybreak. Time now 6:42. All right, welcome back. Time now 6:45, 63 degrees outside. Nice, pleasant morning. We're talking about diabetes here, and an estimated 86 million Americans are at risk for type 2 diabetes, but nearly 90% of you don't know it. So here's the thing, your risk of developing type 2 diabetes can actually be reversed with healthy lifestyle changes. For instance, adhering to a Mediterranean diet.
When it comes to a Mediterranean diet, especially popular from Spain and Italy to Greece and the Middle East, there's a large focus on seasonal fresh fruits and vegetables. For the basics, we Skyped with Dalia Shaban, founder of Washington, D.C.-based Live Deliciously.
It's dark leafy greens, freshly foraged greens in all different varieties, like kale and collards and spinach and chard.
The majority of foods in a Mediterranean diet do come from plants, but Dalia says go for fish or lean proteins twice per week. Salmon and tuna, for instance, contain omega-3 fatty acids, which promote heart and brain health.
So you can think of crowding out your plate with more plant-based foods and then enjoying meat here and there.
Beans, nuts, and whole grains are everyday staples in a Mediterranean meal plan.
And the grain is something that you can hold on to. Brown rice or farro or wild rice or quinoa or bulgur or cracked wheat. The most common beans that you find in the Mediterranean are lentils and chickpeas and fava beans and black-eyed peas.
Use olive oil to cook instead of butter or margarine. That can help to lower cholesterol levels. And when it comes to seasoning, herbs, spices, and citrus juice are better options than salt. Finally, limit alcohol and sugar. You've got the perfect blend of health-conscious choices for people with diabetes.
It's not just a diet, it is a lifestyle.
All right, so I'm going to link Dalia's page, which is called Live Deliciously, to my Facebook page for you. And coming up at 8 o'clock this morning, I'm going to be on Facebook Live, taking your questions with a doctor as well as someone from the American Diabetes Association to talk about type 2 diabetes. How do you know if you have it? There's a very simple 1-minute test. It's called the risk assessment test that you can take to figure out whether you're pre-diabetic. That's what they're calling it. So you can join us on Facebook Live at 8 o'clock.
And if you can get a jump on being pre-diabetic, you can head it off at the pass.
There you go.
Science has proven that. What I love about the Mediterranean diet is it really is just so tasty, and you can't make a lifestyle change unless you really like what you're eating. And I think it's all great.
It's flavorful.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think it's foreign to a lot of people because they haven't tried some of these ingredients like that Dalia was talking about, but it's really good. Try it out.
The parsley and the lime and all that stuff, it's really good.
Yeah.
All right, or lemon, I should say. Let's check in with Greg. He's here now and tracking the possibility once again of severe weather, Greg.
Yeah, that is a real possibility across North Texas as we head later into today. Notice the low clouds that have really developed across the area. So once that sun comes up, not going to see a lot of that. We'll have the overcast skies here this morning heading into the afternoon. Can't rule out a little shower or two developing here early today, maybe before lunchtime. That's all we're going to see early as far as the rain is concerned. That changes though late today, especially initially in our northwestern counties late this afternoon and evening. See, this is around lunchtime. Could see a few spotty showers around midday getting into the early afternoon. But notice out toward north and west as we heat up this afternoon, we'll see those thunderstorms developing, still kind of isolated to scattered in nature north and west of Fort Worth and Dallas late afternoon and early evening. So we'll still keep some low-end rain chances there, but then the rain becomes more widespread with that second round of showers and thunderstorms. It moves in after midnight. Notice that from Wichita Falls, Graham, Mineral Wells out towards Stephenville and Granbury, and that moves east right through Fort Worth and Dallas through the early morning hours tomorrow with that damaging wind and hail threat primarily. Those will weaken, but then we could see some redevelopment in our eastern counties east of Fort Worth and Dallas as we go through the day on Wednesday. Those could be severe as well, so we'll have maybe 1, 2, perhaps even 3 rounds of thunderstorms to talk about across parts of North Texas here over the next couple of days. Severe weather threat, very large hail, damaging winds. Can't rule out an isolated tornado or two in the red shaded. That enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms later today. And then you see that severe weather threat still lingers as we'll have a marginal to slight risk over a large part of the area through the early part of tomorrow as well. Rainfall, not anticipating a lot of heavy rain, but there could be some pockets of some moderate flooding, localized flash flooding with some moderate to heavy showers in those areas out toward Graham and initially with those northwestern counties with the thunderstorms. But we will have to monitor that as well as those storms move on through during the overnight hours tomorrow. Clyde Warren Park, 62 degrees right now, so a mild, cloudy start, 63 in Terrell, along with Canton. Those highs later today, upper 70s, right around 80 degrees this afternoon. And then as we look at the next 7 days, we'll catch a break from the rain Thursday and Friday, but showers and thunderstorms back in the forecast over the weekend, Saturday night going into Sunday. All right, one more check on your morning traffic. Here's Lauren.
Okay, good news is we don't have any accidents working throughout DFW right now. Our only slowdowns still coming from construction. So in Garland, westbound I-30, construction working at Rose Hill Road. That's taken away the 2 left lanes, and that's causing those big slowdowns we've been seeing all morning long with the backup to President George Bush Turnpike. So to avoid that 20-minute delay or so, take Highway 66 or Highway 80, and still working in the Allen area, northbound 75. All of our construction is cleared out at McDermott Drive, but still causing a big headache with 20 to 30 minutes 15-minute delays. So continue using Texas Highway 5 or Alma Drive as your alternate route. Time right now is 6:50, and let's take it over to Dale Hansen with Sports in 60.
NFL owners decided yesterday that the Oakland Raiders can move again. They're going to Vegas this time because the league says it gives the franchise some stability. And I'm not laughing out loud because I am a professional. It comes with years of training. That Raiders fan base is one of the most loyal, maybe the most loyal in all of sports. And the Raiders in the NFL tell them again, we really don't care. We want more money, and since Vegas is willing to give us more, all that righteous concern the NFL has supposedly had about gambling on their game, that's all gone now. You ever notice how pro teams want you to wear their jerseys, paint your face in their colors, buy their overpriced tickets, and pay way too much to park? And they know you will because you care about your favorite team. They want you to care. And when you don't care enough, they remind you it's a business. And it's not really their fault because the billions they make just isn't enough anymore. It's not the worst move, though. I've been to Oakland for a Raiders game when the Cowboys played there. I thought I was going to die. They're a rather scary bunch. I'm Dale Hansen, and that's your Sports in 60.
All right, one more look at that 10-day forecast for us. Widespread rain and thunderstorms expected late tonight through early tomorrow. Some of these could be severe, so keep an eye on things as we go through the early part of Wednesday. Hopefully that sunshine returns Thursday and Friday, but more showers and thunderstorms in the forecast as we get into the weekend, Saturday night going into Sunday.
All right, thank you, Greg. Well, we love, of course, to follow Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, we do. Sometimes that fancy footwork starts a little early. Check this out.
You know, no one puts baby in a corner, or in this case, 8-year-old Paige.
Nobody puts Paige in the corner.
She's a baby in her own right, isn't she?
So she and dance partner Art Yan, age 9, are showing off their finest dirty dancing steps for the Move dance competition. They're from California, and they came in first place in the mini duets category.
Mini duets, I love that.
The video's been shared nearly 140,000 times on Facebook, and you didn't even see the best part. They're like flipping, doing all this crazy stuff.
I think they've got a bright future. Take care, everybody. GMA is next.